I think Coolsville sucks.
What you call an icon living? Puerto Rican live Mr. Rich just did it. I love over 5 minutes. Whoa, we up too hot in the place.
Hi guys, I'm Mayana from Mayana Reads, and today we are going to be doing a TBR video. I usually I do TBRs usually for like readathons, but I also love doing TBRs for October. I really suck at TBRs though. I really suck at, I'm a mood reader. I'm like a mood reader. I could have a list of everything I want to read for the next 2 days and everything could change. That is how much of a mood reader I am, okay? So I hope that I can get through these. And I have a lot of books on my list, guys. I have a ton of books. But that's okay, because usually I have a ton of books picked out for myself to read anyways. So it's the normal, but let's just get into the video. Okay, so the first couple of books I have are books that I'm already in the middle of. And so that will be Serpent and Dove by, I don't even attempt to pronounce the author's name, so I don't even know why I'm trying. But Serpent and Dove has such a spooky feel. Look at the cover. The cover is just so spooky and pretty, and I am a little bit more than halfway through it, and honestly I'm not really feeling it like that. But this book is everything you could want and more. It's literally about a witch and a witch hunter who are forced to marry each other, and it's hate to love, and it's literally everything you could want in a book. I just don't know why I'm not feeling it. I don't understand. The next book I have is a Stephen King book, and that's Mr. Mercedes. I am not I'm 20% through this one, okay? So this one is about a cop named Bill Hodges and this guy named Mr. Mercedes who runs over people. And Bill Hodges is he's a retired cop, so he's trying to he comes back into the business to try to find Mr. Mercedes. And yeah, I'm kind of enjoying this so far, even though I'm not that far into it. It's pretty good. Nevernight by, y'all know Nevernight. I think I'm 30% through this book, and I'm really enjoying it. I just kind of stopped reading these books because Contemporary-a-thon happened, and most of these are fantasy. And then I have Empire of Storms, which I'm not even that much through, but I'm reading the Throne of Glass series for the first time, and I'm really enjoying it. And I started reading that series back in May, June, somewhere around spring, and I haven't finished it yet still. And I want to do a series review on it, so I need to, chop. And the next book I have isn't a book that I'm already in the middle of, but it's been one that's been on my mind lately a lot, and that is The Secret History. And I literally only read the prologue, and I'm kind of this is a book that I'm really scared to get into. Even when I talked about books that intimidate me, so many people were even saying they don't even know if I like it. They were saying that they don't even know if I like it just because of my reading taste. And I was getting mixed responses. People were yeah, you would totally love it, and other people were oh no, you'll hate it. So honestly, I'm genuinely scared to read this book, okay? My list is organized in sections because y'all know me, I love to be organized. I am such a Virgo, y'all know, okay? Next section I'm gonna get to is just a book that isn't spooky or anything, but it's just a book I've been really thinking about wanting to get through lately, and that is Red Rising. And I really want to read this book, so I'm gonna have to read this book within the first couple of weeks in October, because everything else has spooky feels. Or fantasy to me always seems the best thing to read during October. But yeah, this is sci-fi, and I really want to get to this soon. And the next book I want to read in October is another Stephen King book, and that is It by Stephen King. I do not plan to finish this book in October. I'm going to be reading a little bit in October and then a little bit in November, because Julia from A Reader's World wants to read this. I think it's just gonna be a small a group buddy read, or it might just be me and her, but we're planning on reading this in November because she has finals and stuff in October. So I'm just gonna read a little bit of it during October, because why not? So next I'm going to cut off from the books really fast because I have 2 graphic novels that I really want to get to in October. And the first one is Kiki's Delivery Service, which Jamie from Leo Reads got me, and I'm very, very excited to get into this. She got this for my birthday, which was 2 months ago. And first of all, let's say how blessed I am to have a birthday 2 months before October. Anyways, so she got this for me for my birthday, and I really, really been wanting to read it, but I wanted to save it until October because I knew that it just had like such cute spooky vibes. Like, you know, that's not like too spooky. Like, it has like Coraline and like, you know, like, you know, animated spooky vibes. And you know, y'all know I love me some animation, so I really want to get into this. And then I have Fake Blood, which is a graphic novel about this guy who has a crush on this girl, and he thinks she's a vampire, but she's actually, so he pretends to be a vampire because he thinks that she's like obsessed with them. So no, okay, yeah, he thinks she's obsessed with vampires because she's always like talking about it and stuff, so he pretends to be one, but it turns out she's actually a vampire hunter. And my brother Daniel read this book and he loved it. I think he said he would give it 5 out of 5 stars. So the next few books are fantasy, and they don't really have like the spooky feel to them, but like I said, to me fantasy always just is like the perfect books to read in October. So the next few books are just fantasies that don't really have like spooky vibes. So the first book on this list is Kingdom of Souls. Penguin sent me this book. Like, I thought I was just gonna get like an art, but they sent me a final copy of this book, and I don't really remember what this book is about, but it is about a black girl, and you know we have to stand. And I'm always talking about how I wish there were more books for black girls to read, and this book, I just can't wait to read it. Like, it just makes me so happy, like the thought of it. And then I have Ruthless Gods, and I've just finished reading Wicked Saints just so I could read this. I don't really know if I'll get to this, but I think this will be a really good book to read in October. And this book is really thick. Like, I was surprised how thick this book is. And y'all, I gotta tell y'all, like, when I got this arc, they sent me this arc with a freaking dust jacket. Like, I'm gonna put it back on. And then, like, this arc came with a freaking dust jacket, y'all. Like, look at this. A dust jacket. Like, that has to be the best like PR thing I've ever like experienced in my life, and for that I'm very excited to get into this. This book is, how many pages is this? This is only 500 pages, but it's so thick. So I don't really know if I'll finish the whole thing, but I mean, I want to at least start it because this will be like the good spooky feels. Then I have Furyborn, which me and Jake are supposed to buddy read, but he has been a K-pop stan these past couple of days. Also, go subscribe to Jake because he's only like 30 something subscribers away from 1K, and it would just mean the world. Why am I saying this like he's me? But subscribe to him, okay? Anyway, so yeah, we're supposed to buddy read this, but he's been like a K-pop stan, and he's been so into K-pop and hasn't been reading, so we'll probably never get to this. So I'm just gonna start reading it without him, and yeah. Then I have Warrior of the Wind, which Noria got me for my birthday, and this book just seems like such a quick like fantasy read, and it's just, I don't know, like I said, like I've been saying this whole video, fantasy just gives off like such perfect to read during like the spooky season. And I also have To Kill a Kingdom, which to me gets a little bit more spooky on the scale, and this book is just a Little Mermaid retelling, and it's been hyped a lot. I've owned this book for probably a year now, and I still haven't picked it up yet, and I really want to. I've just been hearing really mixed reviews about it, and I don't let reviews like determine whether I'll read a book or not, but I don't know why I'm letting it determine it with this one. The next books I have are more so on this, not spooky territory, but like kind of like, okay, I have A Darker Shade of Magic, which isn't like on the spooky scale, but it's pretty like close, you know, it's pretty close. And yeah, I'm just really excited to get to this one because I've owned this book for a while, and I've actually started this book. I'm just really, really lazy, and I put it down and I didn't pick it back up. So whenever I tend to pick up this book is during a readathon, but I need to just sit down and like read this book, and like everyone loves it, but I'm also really nervous because I liked Vicious by V. Schwab. It was a 4-star book, but it wasn't like my favorite, and like I thought it was. Like, I thought that Vicious by V. Schwab would be like my brand, but it wasn't, and it wasn't as good as I expected it to be, which is why I haven't read Vengeful either, because I've just been like really scared to read it. And I read City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab, and I didn't really, it was middle grade, but there's nothing wrong with middle grade, but for me, like, middle grade is really like hit or miss for me, and I don't know, like it just missed that mark, mainly because of the Harry Potter references that was in that book though. Like that was my biggest issue. It would have been a 4-star read, but the Harry Potter references really like killed it for me. So I don't know, I'm just really nervous to go into this one, but yeah. And then another book I have is Strange Grace, which is basically I actually started this book last October I believe, but I read the audiobook and I wasn't really feeling it, so I put it down. And I decided, like, when I don't like a book, like not all books, but when I don't like a book like in one format, I always try it in another. I love how I said not always and then I said always, but I try to try it in like a different format. And so yeah, we're gonna give this book a try. This book is basically about this town that has a witch, and the witch takes like one boy every year. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can remember from it. So yeah. And this next stack is where it really starts to get spooky, and these are like the real books I'm gonna try to read this month. Like the other ones, like I'm gonna try, but these ones I'm gonna like try. Okay, the first choices I have is The Beautiful by Renee Audier, and this is a vampire book. I don't really know what it's about, but Olivia from Olivia Reads a Lot say like really enjoyed this book, and I know a lot of people haven't been enjoying this book, but Olivia enjoyed it, so that is kind of what pushed me to try this book out, because she liked it. And I am a book of the month affiliate, so if you want to get your first book for $9.99 for book of the month, use my link down below, and I'll also put the code that you can use. Because listen, your girl, I'm trying to stay a book of the month affiliate, and your girl, like, I'm really trying. I got a husband and 3 kids to take care of, you know, so just try it out, okay? Just try it. You won't regret it, because then you'll get your own beautiful book of the month. Oh my gosh, you get your own beautiful book of the month section on your bookshelf. So next one is another vampire book, and that is A Discovery of Witches, because if you didn't know, I'm trying to jump on that vampire craze, okay? I was not the biggest like vampire stan when I was younger. First of all, I was always a werewolf stan, but like I loved Twilight. I loved the movie. I never read the books. I tried to, it just wasn't it for me. But I was never like the biggest vampire stan, and now I think that the vampire craze is coming back, and I want to read more vampire books. So if you want to recommend me any vampire books, please, like, don't recommend me basic books. Like, recommend me actual paranormal, like, you know, the Daggerhood Brother kind of books, like those kind of paranormal, not like, you know, like those kind. But anyways, I ordered this book in hardcover on Thrift Books, and it came in paperback. But I'm not even mad, because like look how it's so pretty. And a lot of y'all are probably like, Mariana, like, are you okay? It's so beat up. But I think that for this book, like this book being like as beat up as it is just so perfect. Like it literally just looks like it was loved and used, and it looks like it was read and enjoyed, and we appreciate that. And the spine isn't even cracked. That's crazy. But yeah, this book had a lot of love, and hopefully I love it. And the next book I have is another classic, and you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, Mariana, like, who are you? I might as well just become an English major at this point, because I've been reading so many classics lately. But the next classic I have is The Crucible, and this is actually one of my favorite classics. I read this when I was in 9th grade, and I absolutely loved it. I haven't reread it since, so I kind of want to see if I still have those feelings towards it. But I've always been intrigued by witches, as you can see. And like literally every Halloween from the ages of 1 to around 17, I was a witch for Halloween. And even if I'm not a witch on Halloween, like I'm always wearing my witch hat in October. Like you will always catch. Like I've had this witch hat for years. Like this isn't something that I just like bought recently. Like I've had this witch hat for years. Like I am absolutely obsessed with witches. And so when I read The Crucible, like I absolutely loved it. So I want to reread it and see if I still have the same feelings towards it. And the last couple of books on my list are all like thrillers. I have Behind Her Eyes, which I don't even know what this is about, but apparently like it's really messed up, and it's really messed up, and it's like I'm ready. I don't even remember what this is about, but I bought it because apparently it was so messed up, and it was on Book Outlet for really cheap, so your girl had to cop. But hopefully it's good, because I've only read one thriller this year, and sadly it was The Woman in the Window by AJ whatever his last name is, you know, the guy who's a scammer and lied about having cancer, you know, that man. And apparently he's a whole con artist. Like, that's not even like the only thing he's done. And that is my most rated like thriller of the year. Like, come on now, thrillers. Like, we need to pick it up, okay? So hopefully this book, like, I like it. The next thriller I have on this list is Cabin at the End of the World, and this book is really, really short. I might start this book soon, but I'm actually really excited to get into this one because like it got such high ratings and everyone says it's like very gruesome and gory and all of that. So I'm very like excited to read this one. Then I have Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. This one I'm very like weary to jump into because I have not enjoyed Riley Sager's other books. Well, I don't know why I said other books. I've only read The Last Time I Lied, which I just did not enjoy. I didn't like how he portrayed like the whole mental illness thing, and I did not like the ending and who the killer actually was. I did not like that at all. I didn't like, it was just so much about that book that I just did not like. But I never read the one before that, Final Girls, just because I picked the book up, I read it, I was like, oh, I feel like the killer's gonna be this person. Then I watched someone's review of the book and they were like, oh yeah, and the killer ended up being blah blah blah. And I'm like, wow, I freaking knew it. Like, okay, there's no point in me reading this now. So I mean, I spoiled myself for it, and usually I'm okay with like reading books after I'm spoiled, but like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of Riley Sager, so I'm using this book to give him another chance, and hopefully I like it. I've seen some other people who weren't the biggest fans of Riley Sager read this book, and like they really enjoyed it, so hopefully I like it. And then the last book I have is The Chestnut Man, and honestly I picked up The Chestnut Man because I was a part of Book of the Month, like just a regular Book of the Month adult, before I had to cancel because your girl is poor and she can't afford Book of the Month every month. Like it only takes out $14.99 a month, so that's not bad. But being as I have YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, one of them had to go, and I already have Book of the Month YA, and if I wanted to get an adult book for Book of the Month YA, I would just pick one, like, you know. So I kind of just decided to keep Book of the Month YA, especially because I'm an affiliate. Like, I can't have both. I can't afford both, okay? I can only afford one, and I picked Book of the Month YA because I'm an affiliate. But yeah, so I picked this book so I can get like another book with it, and I wanted to get the Goldfinch. Yeah, that's what I wanted to get. I wanted to get the Goldfinch, and so I ended up picking up The Chestnut Man for that Book of the Month, and I really didn't even know what it was about. It just seemed like the most interesting out of all the picks, but apparently it's supposed to be about this guy who like leaves a chestnut, like what are they called? It's not like an actual like a dowel, a chestnut dowel thingy, like a voodoo dowel, but not really. Like, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? Yeah, so he puts like a chestnut there, and then like if you find one, that means he already found you. And I was just like, oh, that sounds spooky. But it also sounds like the Chalk Man, which I'm kind of like iffy about because I did not like the Chalk Man. I thought that it reminded me a lot of it, so I was like, but like instead of like with the clown, it's like with the chalk. But yeah, so yeah, those are all the books that I'm picking for this month, and hopefully I get to half of them. Let me know if you guys are reading any of these books, if any of these books are on your list. Let me know if you read The Beautiful and if The Beautiful is on your list, because I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna let y'all know. Like, I'm trying to become a vampire stan, so I'm telling y'all, like, recommend me good underrated vampire books. Like, don't recommend me Interview with the Vampire, Twilight, The Coldest Girl in Cold Town. Don't recommend me no lame books, okay? Recommend me like good underrated books, because when I tell y'all to recommend me stuff, some of y'all really be coming through, and that's why I love this channel. But then the other half of y'all really be recommending me already popular books, and I be sitting there like, come on now, you know. But I love you guys, and thank you for watching this video. My social media is always linked down below. I have an ASMR channel on the way, so if you like ASMR, that's linked down below. You subscribe to that. I'm a Book of the Month YA affiliate, so you know, check that out. And I'll see you guys in my, can y'all tell I'm happy? Like, October is just, it's just my prime. But yeah, like and subscribe to join the cult, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
Scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your